I got some napkin. So the practice of giving to yourself before you give to others, it's like your body just like feels like it can relax and receive the moment of even feeding yourself. Like I was eating, but my brain was going and I was thinking, oh, I want to share about this meal and how it's like so important to be present with your food. Meanwhile, I'm not being present with my food. So I don't have like a plate to show you because I was like, I want to eat this first. This was a delicious meal. It was so good and I ate it so fast because I tried to slow down, but it was just delicious. So now I'm going to share what I was going to say before, which is your food is a great opportunity when you eat to slow down and to be present with it. Be present with the flavors, with the recognition of all the pieces that had to be in play for this plate to be here. Like the seed that had to grow into an eggplant and be harvested. The trucks that shipped it or drove it to whatever location, the store, the store clerk that rang you out, the money that you earned to pay for that eggplant, your own hands that chopped up the eggplant, the pan that cooked it. And that's just one vegetable that was on my plate. There was so many items and pieces that came from so many places and had so much interaction with the world and with the earth and with the people of the world in my plate. And having that recognition, that like pause and breath before eating. And then the thing that I'm working on is to be really present with my food because my brain goes places. I'm thinking about dramas and all this stuff. And I'm also getting out of the pattern and habit of watching a TV show while eating. That's something I was doing for a long time and still sometimes do. But now I've gotten to the point where at least I get like the first 3 bites. If I really want to watch something, the first 3 bites and then I'll watch something. But lately nothing's really hitting the same as it used to. As you change, you realize like, yeah, that TV show's not bringing me as much joy as I thought it did. And I think I had lettuce in my teeth that whole time. But so that's just what I wanted to share about was the beauty of presence with your food and how it's an amazing opportunity to be alive and grateful and connect with something that is nourishing you. So back to that thing of taking care of yourself first, like give yourself the love, give yourself the nourishment, and you can and before you give it to someone else, like otherwise you're giving it from an empty cup and then you're just drained and then you get sick and then you're frustrated and then you're resentful and then there's so many things. And sometimes we actually need so much nourishment. I definitely do. I like operate in a way that's not super productive in the sense that like meets the capitalistic standards of production. And I think that's actually more of us than we are admitting to ourselves. But we've just like done what we had to do to like make it, to meet those standards. And the more that we advocate and value the slowness and the balance of reciprocity between our giving to ourselves before we give to others, the more like the world will shift around us and your choices really matter. So this is turning into a whole video. Here we go. If you are making choices to invest your precious energy, your precious time, your precious spirit and light on a position that maybe doesn't give you back the respect of your boundaries, or maybe there's just a work-life balance that just isn't really meeting your needs. Are you getting sick? Are you like struggling outside of work? Like there's so much imbalance between what the employer is expecting of us and what we're like truly like what we are giving. And more I feel like we're giving out of an empty cup, because I used to work in an office and I knew it wasn't right. So the more you like make choices based on what feels right and what feels like a solid, like balanced relationship for you as an individual, because it's different depending on the person, the more people will start to like uphold and change and think about their own relationships and how they're investing their time and energy and what really matters in the grand scheme of things. Is it the production and the level of speed, or is it the fact that we're alive, our heart is beating, and the world is kind of crumbling around us, but at the same time, there are people who are realizing that there is a light and a spirit that is being cultivated within each individual of choice, to make your own choices, to practice loving yourself first, and to slow down. And all these little pieces really matter. Waking up and having a glass of water and a moment with yourself really matters. It really helps you to set your day up so that you can make decisions from a place of power, of like self-sovereignty, of I'm not codependent on this job. I am always taken care of. And sometimes, like, depending on where you come from, that really is like a long shot. So like take that or leave that statement depending on where you're at, because it only really works for people, some people. But also you can get to the place of truly being there where you've seen proof and evidence that you are always taken care of. Like, I feel like the people I'm speaking to are the ones that are more in resonant with me, who it's hard for me not to believe that maybe you are always taken care of. Like, has things just always figured out a way to work out? Even if it was uncomfortable, did it work out? Even if like it was cringy, or you had to like reach your bottom, or you had to ask for help from others, like that's okay. And were you always taken care of? So just sharing an invitation to practice something new with your food and when you eat. All right, I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll be chatting with you soon.